So here's where I'm going to spend the night. Loaded everything up there. First time I've ever slept in the back of my truck. It's got a carpeted bed liner. Boy, it needs vacuumed out bad. At Walmart in Berea. A couple campers in the parking lot, none of them back here. And call it a night. Be at the meetup in the morning. Well, slept the night. Woke up a bunch of times. Some idiot was pushing the cart around in the middle of the night. Way back in the back corner of the parking lot. Makes you wonder what gets into people. Anyways, go in and get a few little grocery items and pick up some breakfast at McDonald's that's out front and get on down the road. Coffee. Okay. Orange juice. Let's give you too much orange juice. Thank you. I just found out. Heck, I thought that there was some kind of psyops, how they kept you organized with the double line going through. How do they know who you are with the cars moving? They're using some reading the codes on the dollars in your wallet, and so they know when serial number so-and-so's there. No, it's simpler than you thought. They have a picture of the side of your car. And presumably a picture of you. Well, staying in my camper is a better experience than staying in the back of the truck. Have access to facilities, water, a furnace, much more highly padded place to sleep. Now this truck's got a carpet bed liner in it, which I love. It's got a real dense foam. It's still cushy, but it's a real dense foam under the carpet, and it's cut in the same waffle pattern as a truck bed, and it's made specifically for this truck bed. And it means you can get in your cab and crawl around on your knees and not be screaming in agony with your knees on all those corners and angles. So, great investment. Really like having it. It is, however, not very soft. Like I don't even think it's really quite as soft as a padded carpeted floor in a house. Great for its intended purpose. I started out the night with two wool military blankets folded in half lengthwise. So I had 4 thicknesses of wool blanket on top of that. And then a thin wool blanket that I was covered up with, which is one of my favorite blankets. And it was a little chilly. I was waking up cold. So I opened my camping sleeping pad and put it between the layers of the bottom military blanket and slept under the heavier military blanket on top. And that was a lot better. Now it's about it's roughly 7:45. It says we'll be there at 9:44. So we'll be there in about 2 hours. Just about what I thought we'd have. Looking forward to getting there, getting the tent set up, just cooling out for a few days. Passing exit 62 on I-75. This is the Renfro Valley exit. I know I've traveled down here and gotten off this exit. Has to have been 200 times. Boy, the money I've spent on fuel towing boats back and forth to Lake Cumberland. It was a great life while my dad was alive. We shared a houseboat together, and when I lost my dad, I lost my a financial partner to help pay for the thing, and my helper to help with all the regular chores and keeping the boat going. It was, I want to say it was 16 by 68 feet long. And on a boat like that, there's constant maintenance. And it became a frustration for my wife that every time we were down there, all I was doing was working on the boat. And as life got busier and the economy got crappier, and we've had 6 years of a horrid economy, there was just little money and little time to get down here and really enjoy the boat. And it's a little too expensive to keep something like that when you don't have a partner to share in the expenses. Just the slip rental alone was a little over $3,000 a year. And considering I was only getting down here or there at the end maybe 2 or 3 times a year, just not worth it. Loved having it, loved the lifestyle, loved being out on the lake, but things change. It took me a long time to let go of that, because I was, I've been boating ever since I was a kid. I still want to boat. In fact, I've got a bunch of marine plywood. That's the plywood that's standing up in the corner of the garage. It's a kume, and I forget what the other kind of plywood's called. I want to build a boat, but a little boat, because I am in love with boating. But I needed to give that up, and we did. I've still got, I mentioned I've got the motorcycles in the garage that are in my way. I've got one jet ski and a runabout I need to sell. I'm going to hate selling the runabout because it was my first hot rod. I took a 190 horse 4-cylinder Burnt Cruiser motor. It's a half of a Ford 460, and modified it. There were a number of different heads made for Ford 460s, and this particular Burnt Cruiser engine used Ford 460 head, pistons, and rods, rod bearings, a lot of the common parts out of that, but just 4 cylinders. So it's a 230 cubic inch 4-cylinder, which is a huge 4-cylinder. And there were 4 different heads, and the 68 Lincoln had the smallest combustion chamber, 77cc combustion chamber. So I went to the Lincoln head, and I had to machine it and put a water port in the front of the head to accomplish this. And Burnt Cruiser sold a very limited number of these with a 4-barrel manifold and a 4-barrel carburetor. So I was able to track one of these carburetors and manifolds down at marine junkyards and got that set up on the boat. The thing starts nice, runs good, very quick. For a little 18.5-foot fiberglass open bow boat, it's probably about 230 horsepower, 240 horsepower. So it's more horsepower than your basic stock V8s. It'll run 54. So I went from 45 miles an hour to 54 miles an hour with all of my very conservative modifications. And picking up 9 miles per hour on the water is a lot. It takes a lot of horsepower to go faster on the water. But I suppose I'm going to have to get rid of that too. I just don't have the storage space, and I haven't had it in the water in 5 years. It's just going to rot away. But life changes. We have different hobbies now, where the wife and I share boating and houseboating. We now are into Airstreams, and we've got a 67 and a 63 Airstream, and the 67 is the more rare one. It's a Caravelle. It's the more rare and valuable one, so we're working on that one, and I'm going to let the 63 go. Then that'll let me. Right now, the Caravel's not in the driveway, not near my shop where I need it to be to work on it. But that's our hobby that replaced boating. I want to talk about some of the people we're going to meet down here. Now, I don't know who all is going to be here. I know a few of the guys from the last one are going to be here. This is a really interesting group of people. Last year was the first year that I went. There was a doctor there. There was a guy who taught bushcraft down in Texas. Plumber. Retired Kenneth Graham is involved in I guess Park Service stuff. A homesteader. Just a wide variety of people in the bushcraft world. And most of these people in the bushcraft world are more than just bushcrafters. That's an interest of theirs. You know, they're people who generally are interested in self-sufficiency. They're interested in nature. They're interested in skills. I really like this group of people because they're makers. They like to make things, and they respect things that are handmade. And that's probably what appeals to me most. And you know, of course, when I was a kid, I was a Boy Scout, and I did hiking and camping, and we had a great time. This is a way to do that. But I've also learned leather work and a few other things. One of the guys that's up here is just a master at fire starting, and it's just going to be a great time. And I've heard a couple different numbers, anywhere between 18 and 30 are expected. So I'm going to meet some new people and learn some new things, that's for sure. I feel like I haven't really made anything since the last one for my bushcraft kit. I've acquired a few axes and hatchets, gotten a new tent. You know, mostly I've acquired things. I haven't actually made anything. I brought a couple of projects with me because some of this time, you know, it's my goal to bring back something that I've made. And so I've got a couple of hatchets that don't have a mask made for them yet. So that could be one of my projects. I've got all my leather gear, or most of it here. I have a draw knife or a spoke shave. And I've been working on building up my early manual tools. And the spoke shave was given to me by Dennis, the fellow that had a heart problem this winter that took care of his snow removal needs. And it's pretty rusty, but it's in really good condition. You know, I don't think there's really any major nicks in the edge. The handles are in good shape. Now, I don't have too much here for that. I do have a couple sharpening stones. I have a Scotch-Brite pad. So I can clean this tool up and sharpen it. It'd be fun to make an axe handle down here. I've never made an axe handle before, but I don't really have everything I need for that. I need a piece of hickory, and I would need a way to clamp that down. I probably don't have what I need to make an axe handle. But I've got a variety of things with me. I'll make something while I'm down here. Last year's event, I made a knife sheath for one of the guys, and I made a little leather holder for a magnifying glass for myself. And I actually got here earlier last time. I was here a couple days ahead of time. Just made a week's vacation out of it. So I had a little more time to make things. So hopefully I will craft something while I'm down